So graceful. So beautiful. Look at that chunky tail. Look at that big chunky tail. Oh, there she goes. Mother, I must climb you. I am hidden now. Nobody can see me. Oh no, don't turn around. They can see me now.
You expose me!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. How is everybody?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh, excellent. Wonderful. How pleasant. Yes, welcome back to The Brave and the Kobolds. We return to our all-kobold adventure right now. It has been a little while for us, the players. So I think a little recap. We're doing a previously on The Brave and the Kobolds. You all arrived at the market square of Olaros town. Zaffre, you went to the Church of Kovinda, and you were issued with your first nightly quest, which was to retrieve or replace. You had two options. A stolen sacred sewing kit.
See, he doesn't think that he can replace it because then it wouldn't be sacred.
Next, Meeza went to a fabric stall and met a half-orc merchant called Radra. And while there, Alas decided to charm the merchant in order to purchase. I mean, Meeza still paid, so it's very
I did pay. They paid with the money.
Ag and Noki pretty much just ran into a child and were very scared or perplexed. Well, Noki was excited. Ag was a bit scared.
It's a snake.
Yes, exactly. The sort of last new person you met was a cat person, merchant by the name of Candle, who gave you your second sort of quest, which is to either retrieve a very rare vial of spice that was on his stall, or otherwise find the thief of said spice. While you were sort of having your conversation with Candle at his stall, you noticed, or you heard some raised voices not too far away, and you turned to see Radra, the half-orc fabric merchant, conversing with a couple of town guards, because the hour of charm person has officially run out, and so Radra is aware of what happened and has alerted the guards to your presence, and we return to the story now with the two guards making their way, not particularly quickly, but they are sort of marching in your direction.
So, guys,
Yes.
we might want to run.
Why?
Well,
What did you do?
I didn't know. I didn't do it. I didn't.
She just sort of stares at you like,
Well, okay, so, and I don't point at the person, but I kind of nudge my head in the general direction of them. It's very subtle. I paid for, and I gestured to the baby Bjorn goose thing. But I might have used a little magic.
she sort of,
Just a little bit, not a lot.
what kind of magic did you use?
I may have made friends with them.
With magic.
With magic. I just may have made them like me a little bit more than they normally would have. I can do that.
It's not because you can do it that you have to do it.
But other kobolds didn't seem to mind when I did it.
What kobolds?
Well, others kobolds, when I asked them for stuff and they gave it to me and I used the magic on them and it worked. I haven't done it to you guys. Not yet. Well, actually, no, I lied.
That is no. I think at this point they have reached
no.
you.
I'm just sort of like hiding behind everybody else at this point.
Zaffre is going to grab Meeza
Oh no.
and push them out in front of everybody into the
no.
guards
No.
and say, "You are going to take responsibility."
What's that?
Just points at the guards.
Remember when we talked about apologizing?
Okay.
They're both wearing sort of half plate armor. It's like a mixture of metal and sort of studded leather. One of them looks to be in human age, sort of late 50s, with sort of rust red hair. It's a bit sort of graying, and they have a big bushy mustache, very big bristly mustache, and they have a sort of a badge on their chest plate.
Oh no.
The other one is quite a lot younger, sort of mid-20s, athletically built, very handsome features, quite tanned, sort of blonde, strawberry blonde hair, and it's very boy band sort of hairstyle. They are both carrying a spear, and they have short swords on their belts. It's actually the younger one who addresses you first. We have been informed that there has been some misconduct. Which of you is responsible for the charming of persons that occurred earlier today?
Zaffre gives them his best, stand up straight salute and everything, trying to look as regal as possible in his pots and pans armor. And
are you mocking me?
He points to Meeza and says, this one had unfortunately disobeyed some rules.
I presume you are familiar with the code of conduct of Volaris Port City as issued?
No.
We are not familiar with the specifics of your codes of conduct.
Well, perhaps in future you should familiarize yourselves with the codes of conduct of a city before you venture forth and start playing merry hell with them.
Paper?
Glaring at
Excuse me?
Meeza.
Well, do you have it written down?
Stop talking. Stop
Okay.
talking. Stop talking.
Okay.
The older guard is kind of chuckling. And he kind of puts a hand on the younger guard's shoulder and he says, Giannis, perhaps we could just ease up a little bit. I don't think they're from around here. And,
no, we are not. We are from the mountain. And he turns around and points.
Their point of origin makes no difference. The law is the law.
Question.
I said stop talking.
No. This is out of character.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Question for the DM, out of character. Do their boots look dirty?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
Why?
Does their armor look dirty? Does any part of them look like it could use a wash?
Yeah, the younger one is just immaculate condition. There's not a speck of dust. The older one, the sort of more jolly one, I guess they've got a little bit of dust on their badge, maybe. Just
Okay. Continue. I will. This is going to become pertinent, hopefully, in a minute.
Um,
Hopefully.
we will attempt to follow the rules, and there will be no. The rule of magic is none in the city. I'm assuming. Is that safe to assume that is the rule?
Yanis kind of does a deep sigh and says, "If only they had listened to my proposal." And the older guard is like, "Yes, because everybody arriving in Port Alaris was gonna totally fill out a 50-page form."
Zaffre looks like he is totally the kind of person who would.
Hi. Can I interject just quickly? I noticed, and I'm pointing to the older one, the more jovial one, and I kind of point at his little dirty badge, and I go, I kind of noticed here that your badge looks like it could use some shining, and I promise I'm not going to do anything that hurts you, and I'm going to quickly cast prestidigitation, and I'm going to clean his badge because I can.
As soon as Meeza does that, Zaffre just whips around and says, "I just said no magic."
You, Meeza, you cast this this cantrip, and the older guard sort of notices that his badge is now sort of nice and shiny, and sort of smiles. The guard called Yanis grabs you by the by the collar.
No, hey, let go.
Doesn't lift you up, but is just sort of kind of holding you.
I'm doing like the cartoon running in place.
He turns to the older guard and says, "Chief Garrett, I hereby propose that we imprison this small, troublesome creature." And
I didn't do. I was trying to help him. Look how shiny it is. I know it needed to be shiny.
the guard called Garrett, the chief, sort of releases you from Yanis's grasp and kind of says,
I immediately go and hide behind Og.
Yanis, I'm sure we can solve this without having to imprison them. I mean, let's take them to the guardhouse. We'll get it all sorted out there, and then we don't need to. I mean, look at the wee things, and he just kind of gestures at all of you.
I give him the most puppy dog eyes a kobold can. Absolutely.
Oh, now see, look at it. Oh, look at the wee thing, and look at that one. It's got some mushrooms on its back.
I sort of like hold up Grub in front of me again. Grub gives puppy dog eyes too.
Oh no, that's disgusting. After Garrett kind of pointed out Noki's collection of mushrooms, Yanis is like, "Do you have a permit for those fungi?"
What's a permit?
The level of legal illiteracy and
They're legal. They're from nature. They're from our farm. They're legal.
What farm would this be?
Mushroom farm.
Are you part of the Farmers Guild? Did you register?
Yes.
May I see your Farmers Guild registrar document, please?
That's at home, I think.
I when he says he wants to see paperwork, I immediately rummage through my little side satchel and I pull out, and it's not an actual because I don't actually have a scroll of pedigree because I'm a freaking kobold, but I pull out what basically is like something that one of my friends gave me that says, "Hey, this is a really important kobold," and I sort of hand it to them.
Yanis very sort of.
And it's sort of like rolled up in the scroll, you know.
Dear Meeza, you are totes amazeballs. We love you. Is this supposed to be amusing?
It's supposed to be in paperwork.
I think at this point, Garrett will kind of just, again, put a very forceful hand on Yanis's shoulders, like, Yanis, let's just take them in, and we'll sort it all out there. And he
can
turns
I have it
to
back, please?
no.
Oh.
He sort of Garrett kind of just says, if it's all right with the four of you, it's only around the corner. It'll take 5 minutes. If you just come with us, because I'm afraid a little bit of ne'er-do-welling was done, and we do need to resolve it. But I'm not for. We're not going to imprison you or anything. We do need to sort it out because, well, bit of mischief. I'm sure you didn't mean anything by it, but he will kind of gesture for you to sort of follow them.
Okay. I guess. Egg.
Go after them. Come on. We'll settle this.
Chief Garrett and Yanis lead you. So it's not really far from the market square. It's just one of the little roads that leads off from it, and you eventually arrive at a fairly squat building. And above the door, there is a Zaffre, you would recognize it. It looks a lot like a sort of heraldic shield. In the middle of it is an orange fish. I don't think any of you would know what a fish is.
No,
Nope.
not really. No. There are fish like underground and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the fish underground, I'm assuming are like those angler fish that are just like monstrous.
Yeah, or like weird.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like this is a normal fish. Like we would not be able to put that fish plus this fish is the same.
Yeah, maybe.
It's some kind of bizarre animal, and it hangs over sort of some large wooden doors, which are all braced with very heavy iron bolts.
Zaffre looks incredibly impressed by this place, and he's deferring to Ag at this point, but he's marching along like he's one of the guard.
Does the sign look like it could use a good cleaning?
It looks clean.
Gosh,
This is a very interesting turn. Character development.
I'm gonna
must
press
clean.
vegetation my butt out of here.
Garrett sort of lets you in, and it's quite cold and dank in here. The building itself seems to basically just be a small office. There's a table and some chairs and what looks like a small cupboard. There is there's a rack of sort of helmets and spears and swords up against the wall, and then leading off from that is a kind of very wide hallway kind of space, which contains 6 very dingy looking and quite foul smelling cells. They basically just look like very large cages, and instead of being made of sort of very simple materials, they're sort of raw iron, so they look very sturdy. They're all empty except for one, which is sort of not too far from you as you enter, but the prisoner there occupying the cell is kind of lying on their side in a sort of a pile of straw, and they're wrapped up in a blanket, so you can't really see what they look like. You hear sort of some very loud snoring. You are invited to go into the little office, and Garrett sort of sits down. Yanis is still very much sort of on high alert, and he's glaring at Meeza in particular.
I glare right back.
Garrett sort of addresses I think mainly Ag and Zaffre, because he probably of the two of them, he is more sort of socially intelligent. He's read the room, so to speak, so he can tell that you two are probably the sort of points of authority in this little group. Right. So, as you know, there has been this, let's call it a misunderstanding. We understand that the textile product was paid for, but through use of the charm person spell, your compatriot does owe a not insubstantial amount of money to the merchant Radramore. To be fair, she has been quite understanding. While she was aware that she was being charmed, she has agreed to waive the cost of the fabric. However, and he kind of side-eyes Yanis, we do have a code of conduct here, and unfortunately, I think it would raise a few eyebrows if we made an exception for you. So it might have to be a fine.
What's a fine?
Well, it would be you pay us as representatives of the town an amount of coin that would represent the crime, however small it was still unfortunately a crime, and so you would pay for that instead of being detained, as it were.
I have another question.
Aye, right. Shoot.
Your sign, the thingy above your door. What was the creature on there?
Well, it's a fish.
What's a fish?
Oh boy. If I may answer your question with a question, my dear.
Okay.
Am I to understand you have never been in Alaris before?
No. Wait, what? What was the question? We live in the mountain with the dragon.
In the mountain with the dragon.
Yeah, there's a dragon in the mountain. It's the same color as I am. It's a pink dragon. Her name is Roz. She's very nice. She likes
Really?
Tea. Yeah, she likes tea.
Right.
No, I mean, ask Egg. Egg was the speaker.
He kind of glances at Ag.
Yes, that is correct. I suppose I don't see how that matters to anything that is going on here. Just getting back to the fine.
Aye.
How many coins? Because I have one here.
You have 1 copper piece.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. I'm afraid it's going to be a wee bit more than that.
Well, I believe Zaffre and Noki also have coins.
Yeah,
No, I bought something.
You bought something. Okay. We have 2 coins.
He sort of rubs his temples. He's like, right, so you've got a few copper. Right. Is that all the money you have?
Yes.
Currently,
A nice lady gave it to us.
Yanis, and Yanis kind of snaps to attention. Yanis, you know that little group, that group of kids that were causing trouble of late? And Yanis kind of goes, yes. I think I saw 1 or 2 of them having a little scuffle just round the corner. Why don't you go and see what's going on? If there's anything that needs sorting out. Yes, Chief. Are you going to be all right with this this rabble? Get it? Oh,
we're not gonna hurt him.
I'll be fine. You just go on ahead. I'll catch up. And Yanis sort of nods and leaves and marches out.
Yes. Okay.
As soon as the door is shut, Garrett kind of just
Oh,
Right.
I love him so much.
right. Okay,
Ag
so
immediately also just leans forward, like, yes, conspiracy time.
Oh no.
I know this well.
Oh no.
right.
we go.
Okay, I know how we can sort this out. You keep your coin. What I will say is, just for the record, if you can follow me into one of these cells, maybe even just one of you, maybe the little pink one, seeing as it was them that.
Where are we
Okay.
going here?
All we need to do, right, is have them in there. I'll write down that they were detained, and I'll just happen. I'm getting on in my years, you know, and so I might forget to write down the time. But if Yanis asks, we can say that your friend here. What's your name?
Meeza.
Meeza. We can say that Meeza here served their time, if you know what I mean.
I have a question.
Oh, you're just full of them, aren't you? Go ahead.
Yes. There was something in that one cell. What was that?
Oh, that. That's just that's another. That's somebody we're holding.
Is he a bad person?
Well, I don't like to think so.
Does he need to be taught a lesson?
Meeza, no.
No, you didn't need to worry.
Oh, because
about
I can do
him.
this really cool thing where I can play a practical joke on him. And I did it before. And my friends thought it was really cool. And basically what it is I make you grab a metal object, and then I grab the metal object, and then I shock you through the metal object. It's a really cool trick.
Please, you trying to help is why we are in this problem. Stop. Just stop doing things and listen to Ag.
I was
Ag
gonna go
said,
in the cell,
Stop
but he
talking.
can put me.
Stop
he can put me.
talking. Why do you never listen to anything anybody ever tells you?
I'm listening.
Ever.
I'm
You're
just,
not listening to a word I'm saying. You're talking right over me.
I'm
Very
I'm
rude.
listening. I'm going to do what the nice gentleman says. I'm going to go into the cell with him. He's going to give me a slap on the wrist, and then I get to go home scot-free.
Oh, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be any bodily harm if you'll follow me. And,
I can do that. Do you want me to do the shocky thing?
No.
Okay.
Sort of leads you into this cell.
I know.
Because they're all cage-like, you can see obviously through the bars, and you can see ahead a couple of cells along, and you can see that this thing on their side is a humanoid figure. Garrett will sort of, to the rest of you, will say, you three, if you could keep an eye on your friend here, I will just go and fill out the paperwork. I wouldn't really try not to rouse the fella in there. Best if you didn't do that.
Why not?
You stay in there.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
be
not
right
gonna
back.
leave.
I'll be right back. And he kind of
Okay.
shuts the door. He doesn't lock it, but he does shut it, and then he heads off, sort of quite briskly, off to the office. So
I spend my time just prestidigitationing the door open and shut because
you could
Actually, no.
go old school and use your hands.
I could use my mage hand.
Is that a cantrip?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then fine. Sure, you're doing this. It's squeaking very annoyingly. You do see this sort of form lying in this other cell start to sort of
I stop.
move.
Can I have gone out the door, the front door?
Oh, you've left?
I'm done. He's not looking very happy, and he's gonna go outside and he's gonna start marching back and forth in front of the building.
That's fine. Hail, friends! This episode's promotional break is dedicated to WOODGRAIN Gaming. WOODGRAIN create gorgeous handmade hardwood gaming accessories, including dice trays, dice boxes, and their newest product, the Box of Holding. A tabletop role-playing game kit which holds all of your dice, minis, notebook, and pencils. It doubles as a dice tray and tracks your fast-changing stats, and is optimized for 5th edition. The Box of Holding is now available for pre-order on WOODGRAIN's webshop, and you can find links to that and their website and social media in the video description below.
Yeah, he wants to go have a look in the direction that
That's
guy
great.
mentioned. So he's gonna run off and do that.
And
Okay.
Aggie's trying her very hardest to ignore Meeza. Sort of have her back turned. Just
What about Noki?
Seeing that Og is gonna stay inside, I think I would follow Zaffre outside.
Okay.
We're splitting the party.
Oh, great. Just peachy. You know, actually,
Yeah,
retcon a second. Retcon.
Yeah,
Sorry, my apologies. I should have said this earlier. I
Sure.
think when Garrett sees you sort of walk by and go outside, he'll say, would you mind not leaving right now, if that's all right? Is there something urgent outside?
Yes, I am on a quest.
Right.
Those young people, they stole several things and that I must return.
Oh, I did just make up that story to get Yanis out of our hair, but you know of the red herrings?
And he digs around and he pulls out the bit of red thread. I found this in the temple where they
He'll motion to sort of like ask if he can have a closer
He'll
look.
go over and he'll tell the whole story of the the temple and what it looked like and how he found it right around the bottom where all the other tools were, and so someone has taken that particular holy sewing kit and
Right.
He was charged with getting it back. So he's going to go get it back. And also, the merchant Candle was robbed as well.
Oh my.
A pile of rare spices. I believe there may be a connection.
Right. These are very... See, from what I know of the red herrings, this seems a wee bit out of character for them. A sewing kit and a vial of spice.
And they bothered the woman with the... What were they? Oranges?
Oh, the wee little lady lives
Rhea.
outside town. Oh, Rhea. Oh, she makes really nice marmalade. She does.
She does, yes.
Well, see, that feels more in line with their MO. I'll tell you what. If you carry on with this, if you find anything out, you know where we are. You let me know.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Or do I...
No, I would still rather you stay
Okay.
here. Just for now, because you see, I didn't really see anybody out there.
Right. Of course. And he'll go to the front door. He'll stay inside. He'll go to the front door and then he'll march back and forth. With his little pots and pans clanking.
Oh, that's
But
adorable.
not super loudly, just a little bit.
Noki, are you
I'm going outside now.
Okay.
Just turn right back around and back inside. Like, oh no.
Okay.
And
Um.
sit back down with Og with our back towards Meeza.
Okay. All sort of while the conversation between Garrett and Zaffre was going on, Meeza's sort of squeaking of the door seems to have roused this prisoner, who kind of actually sits up, sort of lets out a very loud belch, and you see like a hand emerge from this sort of blanket that's covering them, and it looks fairly familiar. It's scaly, and it has claws, but the claws are very long and very sharp.
Oh no.
And the scales are kind of they're red, but they're not like Tang's red scales. They've got like flecks of like copper or bronze in there. And this figure sort of the hand sort of reaches out to kind of prop themselves up, and they turn around, and the features of this humanoid creature are, to you, to all four of you especially, deeply, I would say, equally troubling and moving, because this person looks a lot like a dragon. And they've got their eyes closed, and then they sort of open them, and the sort of bright gold, just like really golden eyes. They are a bit bloodshot. They are a little bit scrawny. They don't look in the sort of the best of shape, but and they sort of turn around and scowl at you, like in a very sort of "I was sleeping and you've woken me up" kind of expression.
You're a dragon.
You what?
You're a dragon.
No.
Yes,
What,
you are. I've seen a dragon. I know what a dragon looks like. You are I mean, you look a little more like us, but you are
Okay, all right. You are making an awful lot of noise for something so small. Can you shh.
okay. Hi.
No,
Yeah?
you're still making noise. Shh. Perfect. Hold on a second. How many of you are there? And he's kind of sort of like squinting.
No, well, there's 4 of us, but there's 1 of me.
Right.
Meeza.
What
I'm
are you?
What are you? I want to know what you are. I'll tell you if you tell me. I asked you first.
Oh, he kind of stretches a bit and he burps again, and that sort of the blanket falls off,
Yes.
and it's definitely seems to be the type of thing that you have only heard of. You've never met any creature like this, but you would have heard of the union of humanoid and dragon, or rather dragon god in humanoid form. From the appearance of this creature, that this might just be what the legends call a dragonborn.
Guys, are you seeing this?
I am still trying my very best to ignore Meeza.
No, turn around. There's something cool. I'm serious.
You did the thing you were specifically instructed not to do?
No, but look at it.
It doesn't matter. You specifically you were told not to do something, and then you immediately did the thing you were told not to do.
But look at
If you were told not to do something.
Oh,
you
can you
Very easy.
tiny little lizard things, could you all just be quiet for 2 seconds?
Okay.
I have got like the mother of all headaches. Oh,
I can help you. I'm gonna take out my little I have like a little water flask or something, I'm assuming, right? I'm gonna take some of the tea that I have and put a little bit of that in there. I'm gonna take prestidigitation because I can actually warm something up. I'm gonna make him a quick little tea, hand over my flask and go, here, this will make you feel better.
He eyes you a little bit skeptically, but he does take it. He takes a sip and it's just
Okay, never mind.
what the bleeding hell is this?
It was supposed to be soothing.
He just throws the thing over his shoulder.
Okay then.
Chief Garrett has heard a bit of this sort of commotion and is walking over with just a bunch of pieces of parchment, and he's sort of right. So I think that's everything squared up. I didn't really ask for all of your names, so it does just say Meeza, and then it says little red one, little purple one, and little blue one. But to be fair, oh, and he kind of looks up and he sees that the prisoner is awake and says, right, so I see you've met Roderick. And
he's a bit grumpy when he's awake. He needs to wake up a bit more, I think.
Oh, I think you'll find his disposition rather unchangeable. And Roderick kind of goes, bah! And he kind of just goes back to where he was. He kind of wraps himself up in his blanket again.
I use my mage hand and I just grab my wire skin back from the corner. Back.
Can we like leave her here a little bit longer while we go look for people, or that?
Garrett kind of looks at Meeza and like,
I can make myself useful. I can clean some stuff like I did with your badge.
I think they've been here long enough. I think we're all right. I think we're all
I could do that. I can help. I'm helpful.
He opens the door and he sort of like gestures for you to leave.
Okay.
It's all sorted out now. So if anybody asks, you know, you've paid your dues and it's all fine and you can all go on your merry way. I hope just try not to get into any more trouble.
Do you have a copy of your rules?
Well, not on me, no. I know Yanis was waxing lyrical about it before. They're not actually really written down in anything accessible. But if you just try not to use any kind of you know, mind control sort of magickery that you can do, just ask permission, maybe. Before using a spell.
What's permission?
I just like no magic at all for you, cause like just no.
Okay, I won't use any magic. I guess it's fine.
Right.
I'll
then.
just go on my way. And
is Meeza like bowing their head and
yes.
dragging their feet? Okay. Garrett sort of opens the front door of the guardhouse for you, and
you're really nice, by the way. If you ever need your badge cleaned, you can always ask for me.
Right.
And I leave.
Oh, all right then. Well, thank you. And he kind of gives a meaningful glance at Zaffre and Ag, and sort of says, "I can trust the two of you to make sure your wee group here doesn't get in any more trouble."
I will do my best, but I'm very frustrated at Meeza's inability to listen to anything anyone says. However, I am Zaffre of Dragon Guard, and I must persist on my quest.
Well, if well, you remember what I mentioned before about the red herrings. If you find out anything, you can always let me know. Right. Well, off you go. and
Go marching
enjoy your
off.
stay.
Thank you. We'll march off.
You have just left the guardhouse, and the street you're on leads back to the market square. Otherwise, it seems to be sort of more sort of residential. Seems to be abodes, houses. Where would you like to go?
If we are close enough to the sea.
I think you can. From where you're closer to the market square.
Okay.
You can smell the sea, but it's not within sort of eye shot. You can't sort of see it yet.
In that case, I think I'm gonna sort of try and drag Meeza over to the market so she can, or they can go apologize to the person that was selling the fabrics.
So you head back to the market square. It is now chock-a-block. There's lots of people sort of bustling around.
Yeah.
Lots of raised voices, a lot more smells in the air, a lot more noises. There's even a bit of music coming from somewhere. And you can just about see the head of Radra, the fabric merchant, and I guess with a slight bit of pushing and shoving, a bit of elbowing, you are able to make your way back to that stall. And she finishes dealing with one customer, and then she sees the four of you and says, "Oh, right, so," and she kind of looks at Meeza quite purposefully. She doesn't look angry, but she's sort of got a bit of a raised eyebrow. Like,
I do not meet her gaze. I'm looking everywhere but at this person.
Oh, look who's suddenly gone all shy.
I believe Meeza has something to say to you. Nudge, nudge, nudge.
I'm all ears.
Meeza,
I'm sorry.
What was that? Sorry.
enunciate, darling.
I'm sorry.
Enunciate.
One more time.
I'm sorry.
Good enough. Just don't do it again. All right. I'll let you keep the that bit of fabric there, just because it looks so good on you. It'd be a bit of a crime to part ways with it, but yeah.
At the mention of it looks good, I actually look up at Radra, and I'm assuming like they have like a tablecloth that's on their like stall thing, right? And it probably goes to the ground. And I'm looking down, as I was looking down for quite some time as Egg was leading me. I had noticed that it was dragging, it was getting dusty, and I very, very, subdued cast prestidigitation, and I clean the tablecloth.
This episode brought to you by the prestidigitation cantrip.
Yes.
So many
uses. I have no spell slots left. So this is all I have.
I elbow Egg and I say, "We told them no magic. We must get control of Meeza, or we will become our quests will become in great peril."
Baby steps, Zaffre, baby steps. They'll get there eventually, but
a rule has been broken. No magic means no magic.
While that is true, sometimes, Zaffre, it is okay to break a rule a little bit.
But it's always.
Meeza is always breaking the rules and never following. But I am always following the rules.
Yes, Yes, you do definitely always follow rules.
So, why does Meeza not suffer?
Existential crisis.
They'll get the hang of it eventually.
No, our quest is in peril now. We were almost detained by the guard. We could have been in very serious trouble.
But is a quest really a quest if you have nothing to overcome? I have read the same book you did. It is never that simple for a knight, is it?
No. I just pat Egg on the shoulder. Thank you. You are wise.
While you two are having this this conversation, Noki, you feel something, a familiar sort of sound. I would argue that your ears have sort of attuned to this frequency. It's quite high pitched. It sounds like a voice, and it seems to be. It doesn't seem to be saying words. It seems to be sort of making a kind of a plaintive wailing. It's like a sound of distress of some kind.
If I turn around, do I see where the sound is coming from or not?
The square is quite busy now, but if you could roll for perception, I'll give you advantage because you're focusing.
Okay.
Focus hard.
Perception. Oh, where is everything?
Oh wow!
That was good.
So yeah, you are, despite all this sort of this movement of people, you are able to peer between the legs of several people, and you see two more of those very small humans. They both look a bit bigger, a little bit older than the one that sort of grabbed your tail and called you Snake. One of them is sort of sitting on the ground, a little bit sort of sprawled out, and is holding their head in their hands. The other is standing over them and is kind of got both hands on the smaller one's shoulders, and appears to be sort of trying to comfort them. The smaller one is emitting this wailing, this sort of loud. And now that you're kind of focusing on what you can tell, it's sobbing, it's crying quite in distress.
How far are they away from us?
Not super far. I think you could, with a minimal amount of jostling amongst people, you could get to them.
I'm gonna slip in between some legs and go towards the little shields.
So, Noki, you managed to sort of slink over to these two creatures. The one that's crying doesn't look up. The one that's sort of standing over them is sort of patting them on the head, patting them on the shoulders, and just like, it's okay, just calm down. We'll we'll find it. We'll get it back. Don't worry. Sort of, it's kind of looking around. They seem to be sort of looking for just like help. I need an adult kind of situation.
Hello, I am adult, here to help.
Do you say that?
Sure.
He goes, oh, hello.
Hi. Why is the little one crying?
Well, and she kind of composes herself a little bit. This is my my brother. he's lost something, and the smaller one kind of behind, sort of, he's muffled a little bit. He's like, "We didn't lose it. It was stolen." And
What?
I didn't lose it. It was stuck.
Hi.
You have mushrooms growing out of your head.
You don't.
And he just sort of sniffled. He stopped crying, but he's just sort of got you can see he's got like a stream of snot, you know, when you're like really crying.
Yeah.
And the older girl is sort of right, stolen. My little brother, he got like stopped by some of these older kids. I don't really know who they were, but they stopped him, and I guess they took something. I guess they took it from him.
What did they take?
Oh, it's a toy. It's just a toy. I don't know why they would want it, but it was from our mum, and I guess, and the brother just like starts sobbing again, like really, really hard. And she's like, no, it's okay, right, it's okay. But yeah, it's like a little stuffed owlbear. You know, it's nothing special, but these kids, they just turned up, and they were suddenly all around him, and by the time I got over here, they'd already gone, and they took it, I guess.
Where did they go to?
I didn't really see. It was so crowded. They just went off into the, and I had to. He kind of gestures at her brother. It's like, I had to deal with him.
This is way too late. What's an owlbear?
Oh, it's like an animal. It's like a big kind of. Usually they're quite scary, but this one's really cute. It's like a little toy. It's like a toy owlbear. It's not a real one.
Did you see who took the little owlbear? Ask this to the smaller boy.
Mm-hmm. He kind of just wipes the snot and tears away. It was a boy, and he was like short, and he had like hairy feet. He didn't have shoes on. He had like hairy feet. And he was wearing like a black jacket, and they all had like a red thing on their arm, and he was laughing, and he took my owlbear, and he starts crying again.
I want to pat him really lightly on the head.
Your hand is scratchy.
Okay. Are you gonna be fine here? Because we're kind of in the middle of like the market. Where?
The sister is like, I've been trying to get him to like move. Like, there are so many. Can you? Yeah, and like, if you want, like the two of you can kind of usher this little boy away from the center of the marketplace and off to the side.
I want to use my quarter stuff to make like a pole to kind of make a way between people.
Oh, nice. So basically, these crowds, they just see a stick kind of
Yeah.
bobbing along, and then they notice that this pink creature and two children sort of cutting a bit of a cutting through the crowd. Would Noki have gone? Would you have taken the kids to your group, or would you? Have...
Whatever side would have been closest. So if it would be closer where the others are, I would have taken him that way. And if I think it was closer to take him that way because they were wasn't that far from where we were before. So yeah, it would be.
So we see a
towards
staff
them.
bobbing towards us.
You lead these two children over to your group, and they sort of recount their situation to the other three kobolds. You are presented with another case of theft, which has been perpetrated by the gang that you now know to be called the Red Herrings.
Dun dun dun.